Turn off live 001 button. Turn off high quality.
Hey, I'm back, and I apologize for that. So everything that could have went wrong on that recording did, and so I figured I would just do a much cleaner recording. Some of the things that I talked about in the previous recording was the difference between pro level software and the normal consumer level software that comes on your computer. For example, GarageBand versus, say, a Logic Pro or a Pro Tool or Reason for Mac, stuff that, costs a couple of few $100 to have. And a lot of it is the ease of use, the simplification, the ability to be able to have things where you want it. And if they're not where you want it, to easily be able to place them there. And this is what is one of the issues with Leslie we got, and hey to the person who just came in, why is somebody else in Leslie's teaching session? No, I'm just playing. And it might be Leslie. But one of the things that we got was so far in recording, she wants to do dramatic audio. Leslie is super, super good at it, and we want to help her master that and be able to sell her dramatic audio. What is dramatic audio? Well, let's say somebody's telling a story. I'm telling you about the cars going past on 69th Street in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. And you start to hear coming from your left ear, the car coming, or the horses. That's like a cool horse sound, right? So just dramatic audio. You're doing something, you got the dramaticism, and that's dramatic audio. And she tells great stories, and I can't wait to hear what type of sound bed she embeds in her file. Well, we got her to the point where she had multiple tracks, and she understood how to make track one her microphone using her Claret 2 Pre, and Farrago, which is her soundboard, to trigger the sounds into the second audio input, but she couldn't get both of the tracks to record. Some of this was intentional, and some of it was, darn, Vashon, you're on Logic. Duh. It's a lot easier, a lot different, in my opinion, a lot better, but it doesn't change the fact that they still do the same thing, and you just have to look different places to make them do different things. And so I said, well, I'm going to let her bump her head and bump her head and bump her head until she calls me, and she never calls. She reaches out to a third party. It's almost like a vendor. And the Smiths go over there and help her out. And we love that. We love community, and we love helping people. But the point I want Leslie to get is leave me a message. Call me, even if it's the weekend, if it's Christmas, if it's Saturday. The worst thing that you're going to do is get a message back from me later. And, yeah. So, nevertheless, we got her almost there, right? She got her voice sounding all nice and sensual. And she can't get the sound beds to record. She can get one or the other. And I know that flip-flop. So, Leslie, let me help you out. We go over to GarageBand, right?
GarageBand.
All right.
GarageBand.
And that's assuming you got both of the tracks up. And you know how to do that because you've been bump your head, right? And so you got that. So the next step in what you need is to go back to tracks.
Menu bar, Apple. Garage, file, edit, track. New track, rename, delete, show move, show trans, show tempo track, show master, configure track header, ellipsis option. T.
All right.
Tango.
Configure track header. That's what you need. Now I'm going to press return here, but notice it said the shortcut is option T. So instead of going VOM, then right arrowing, then going down, you can just press option T and you'll get this right here.
Configure track header. Checked. Window. Mute. Checkbox. Mute. Checkbox.
All right. And so these are the buttons that you're going to see in the track header. Remember this? You got button.
Solo. Checkbox.
You got solo.
Track lock. Uncheck. Checkbox.
You got track lock that you don't have checked. And that's if you want to lock a track, which means you don't want any manipulation on that particular track. You got the guitar sounding exactly the way you want them. You want to lock that in. That's what that's for. An example.
Record enable. Uncheck. Checkbox.
That's what you're missing. Record enable, baby. So VO space bar.
Check record enable. Checkbox.
All right, and press Command tilde or Command graph. Actually, let me see what my keyboard says this is.
Starting keyboard help. Type keys to hear their names. Hold down the voiceover keys while typing to hear voiceover commands. Press the escape key at the top left corner of the keyboard to stop help. Accent.
All right, Command accent.
Command accent.
See that?
Command accent.
See that?
Command accent.
See that?
Command accent.
All right, that's the key right above the tab key. All right.
Escape. Stopping keyboard help.
All right, I'm stopping keyboard help. I'm pressing Command.
Untitled 1. Tracks. Window.
All right, and so this is the tracks window. I'm going to interact.
No visible title to it. Mute. Unchecked. Checkbox. Off 1. Text. Mute. Unchecked. Checkbox.
All right, and so you got
balance
the
knob.
mute button. Remember, that was in the track header to be configured. You can take it in or out.
Mute. Unchecked. Checkbox. Solo. Unchecked. Checkbox.
You got solo.
Solo button. Isolated track.
We don't need to hit a description right now.
Record enable. Checkbox.
All right, and
Record
you
enable
got that record enable button right there. Now that's track 1. Let's go to track 2. Or it might have been track 2. Let's go to track 1. Whichever one it was, we're going to go to the other one to make sure both are enabled.
Out of track. Track 2 off 1. Group.
Oh, that was track 2, so let's go to track 1.
Track 2 off 1. Group. Mute. Unchecked. Mute. Solo. Unchecked. Record enable. Checkbox.
That one's checked as well. So sometimes when you check it or uncheck it, it doesn't say that it's checked. Like now it does. I'm going to uncheck it.
Uncheck. Mute. Checkbox. Name field. Mute. Unchecked. Check. Mute.
sorry,
Unchecked.
hold
Off
on.
1. Text. Mute. Unchecked. Mute. Solo. Unchecked. Record enable. Unchecked. Checkbox. Check. Mute. Checkbox. Mute button. Silence a track signal. Solo. Unchecked. Checkbox. Mute. Unchecked. Checkbox. Solo. Record 100 decibels. Record enable. Checkbox. Record
right.
enable button. Arm the track. Uncheck. Mute. Checkbox. Uncheck 0 pan. Check.
And I tell you, if one thing doesn't go wrong, then another. But the point I'm trying to get across to you is if you know you have checked it and it's not reading that it's checked, then go VO left to the left or the right and come back to it and just listen to make sure that it's checked. And we're working on that. It's an accessibility issue inside of both GarageBand and Logic. Not sure about any other DAWs like Pro Tools and all that. But anyway, Leslie, so that'll enable both of your tracks. One for your voice, the other one for Farrago, so that you can trigger your sounds. And I forgot. I got to cancel my lesson with you on Monday because we got another client. And if we can do Tuesday at 9, I'm just kind of like asking the whole world if we can switch times. But I'm about to send you this recording. Anybody else listening, if you want teaching from Fedora Outlier, whether it be from me or one of our other excellent teaching staff members, team members, fabulous people, then shoot us a email or a text or an iMessage or call us using one excellence at FedoraOutlier.com. And
I can live.
let's change the world. Let's record amazing audio. And
Turn off high quality video mode. Button.
record and change the world together.